Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Good Thursday morning and welcome to The Splash Live. I'm Dave Scott. Good to have you on this chilly Thursday, but sunny in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Thank you for joining us for this 90-minute segment of live and local programming. Of course, it's a Splash Live with yours truly, kicking off here at 9:30. Tyler Keefe will be in at 10 o'clock with the MegaCast. We start very local here with the Splash. Tyler takes a little wider look at our community as a whole, the county and state of Michigan. It's Splash Live and the MegaCast every Monday through Friday at 9:30. Easy to watch across all of our platforms. That includes on cable TV in West Bloomfield, where we've been for over 20 years, on Comcast, Channel 15, AT&T, Channel 99. Just select your community when you go to that page, and you'll be able to watch nice and easy. We're also all over the web at civiccentertv.com, and you can watch us in full high definition there and see our archives of all of your favorite shows. On social media, Facebook, search for Civic Center TV on Facebook. You can also find us over on YouTube, where we are live each and every day. And then, of course, thank you to our radio listeners this morning, driving into work or cruising around West Bloomfield in their cars. Thank you very much for listening to our own local community radio station, 89.3 Lakes FM. Good to have you with us, and really nice to be back in the studio after traveling the last couple of days. Well, first of all, let's take a look at our weather. It is cold. Now, I used a remote car starter today. Maybe you did warm up the car, but we ain't seen nothing yet. But still a little chilly, a little frost in the pumpkin this morning. 25 degrees right now in West Bloomfield, warming up to 37. Some occasional snow showers and clouds today, but we'll also have some sunshine. Tonight, cooling back off down to 26. Tomorrow, more of the same, 33. A little bit colder tomorrow night. And then Saturday, look at the thermometer on our weather forecast. It's going to be cold, only 28 degrees. Should be very interesting for our college football games around the Midwest. A very different scene, and going way down to 19. Those, to me, look like a very late fall and Thanksgiving-like temperatures. So good luck with weather and the colder weather over the next couple of days. Congratulations to West Bloomfield High School DECA alumni Donovan Brown and Trey Brown on having their pitch accepted for our local production of Shark Tank, which happens November 18th. I believe that is tomorrow, if I have my dates right, and it is. You can watch these productions happen at West Bloomfield High School, and it's an awful lot of fun, and we take it very seriously, of course. But make sure you check it out. In 2007, Donovan placed in the overall top 15 at the DECA International Conference in Orlando, representing Michigan, while participating in our West Bloomfield DECA program. These men were entrepreneurs from the very beginning. Best of luck to our guys in Shark Tank on tomorrow evening. So real good. And the DECA program in West Bloomfield, absolutely amazing, and they're always up to something. We'll spend some more time talking about that amazing program and future business entrepreneurs starting very early in their high school career. So it's an annual tradition right around here in West Bloomfield and Orchard Lake, Eagle Harbor, and Sylvan Lake. You drive down Orchard Lake Road, and you drive at Orchard Lake St. Mary, and there it is, the Christmas tree sale. Well, it's going to be coming back again this year. Christmas trees and wreaths and roping, and got a chance to figure out a little bit how this all works. Dan Triben from Sheboygan has a landscaping company up north, and he's packing all the trees right now. I talked to him this morning, and he'll be bringing them down. He'll get here on Sunday, and then begin setting up. And the tree sale is expected to start on Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, we're going to have Dan on the show tomorrow morning. We're going to talk a little bit more about, what makes a good Christmas tree, what you want to look for, and talk a little bit more about their sale. Again, a big annual tradition at Orchard Lake St. Mary. A great fundraiser and just a really nice way to get a tree. And I assume you want to get out there pretty early and have your choice of the trees on the first couple of days. videos. So it's going on at Orchard Lake St. Mary. The sale begins on Tuesday or Wednesday. They're not quite sure as they get things set up. And it will run from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock in the evening. So if you're really into Christmas trees, you might also want to head by St. Mary. We noticed as we were looking at the tree sale plan that they've got their annual tree lighting going on. And this is going to happen on Sunday as they're getting all the final preparations for the tree sale. 5 o'clock at the old gym. You can see right there. It all kicks off and all the details are available. Go to the Orchard Lake St. Mary website and find all about Mingle All the Way, the annual Christmas tree lighting going on at Orchard Lake St. Mary. So something new on the program this morning, we decided to go through and take a look at some of the really amazing videos that are out there all about West Bloomfield on YouTube. Now, we have our own archive of our videos that we have produced on Civic Center TV. And we always encourage you to go to civiccentertv.com and then take a look at the videos there. There's a beautiful on-demand area. You can watch live, of course, but you can go to the on-demand area and take a look back. But this morning, we decided to take a little wider view, go to YouTube and take a look at what we thought our top 5 videos are out on YouTube. And I put all these on a page on civiccentertv.com. So go to the website after the show and just go to civiccentertv.com/top 5, and you'll find all these videos right there. And you know, when you go to YouTube, you find some garbage in there, let's be honest. So this way, you can come right to our page and you'll see the very best of what our top 5 are. So let's start with the first one. Number 1 is another angle. We shot this almost 10 years ago. It's an aerial view of the greater West Bloomfield area. Continues to be one of the most popular videos ever shot by Civic Center TV. And on a kind of an inside baseball note, it was voiced by our good friend, fellow broadcaster, and a staff member at Civic Center TV several years ago, George Moore, who has since passed away. So you're really going to enjoy his wonderful, amazing voiceover and a great aerial view of the community. It's called Another Angle, and it's right there on our top 5 page. Easy way to check it out. Video that's not from ours, but it's an awful lot of fun to take a look at, is the promotional video for the Tree Runner Adventure Park. And I know we're getting into the cold time of year, but this is a really cool asset in our community, and it's an awful lot of fun just to go take a look at their promotional video and see all the really cool things that you can do out at the Tree Runner Adventure Park. That is number 2 on our Civic Center TV YouTube video top 5. One of the biggest historical events that happened during my lifetime in West Bloomfield, and I remember the evening as if it was yesterday, and that was the tornado of 1976. I was at our family home on Maple Road in West Bloomfield. The phone rang, and it was my very good high school friend, Mark Friedman, who called me and said, "Dave, our house was just hit by a tornado." And I said, no, that can't be. It actually was. The whole story of the tornado that ripped right through Orchard Lake Road and 15 Mile, and then continued to make its way through many of the subdivisions right in that area, is fully, the story is fully told. All the news clippings are there, and it's a video we put together several years ago. The tornado of 1976, one of the top videos in our library and very big on YouTube. On the sports front, of course, we couldn't get through this without a sports angle. And one of the biggest names to come out of West Bloomfield sports over the past couple of years is none other than Donovan Edwards. Donovan graduated from West Bloomfield, played on the West Bloomfield High School state championship football team, and has since gone on to be a standout running back at the University of Michigan, where he will be, I'm sure, most likely, unless he's injured, playing on Saturday in the cold weather. Here are video clips of Donovan's senior year at West Bloomfield. This is a video that was put together by Max Preps and the really good people over at Bally Sports, and you could see the highlights of Donovan. Look at him run. I mean, and he's doing the same darn thing for the Maize and Blue. I'm sorry, Sparty fans, but he's doing the same thing for the Maize and Blues Saturdays now in front of a national audience. We really enjoy following our alum, especially when they are so talented. Donovan Edwards and his video is number 4. And then the final video on our list today in our top 5, you can go and find out all about the West Bloomfield Middle School. Now, this video was shot before the school opened and before the season, before the school season began. but it talks about the exciting things to come at the new West Bloomfield Middle School. And if you see the administration there, and if you've not had a chance to get in the school, you might want to go watch a video of our Heroes Breakfast. It's on civiccentertv.com. But you're going to get a nice tour and find out about all the exciting things to come at West Bloomfield Middle School. If you have students there, maybe you've already been in the building. If you haven't and you've not seen this amazing, brand new, modern school designed for a contemporary education environment, here's a great way to do it. So that is our top 5 videos. And again, the really easy way to go check them out, just go to civiccentertv.com. You don't need to go to YouTube. Go to civiccentertv.com and go to that page, our top 5 videos page. It's civiccentertv.com/top5. And all the videos are right there, and you'll be able to check them out. And it was kind of fun putting that list together this morning. We'll keep updating that and continuing to share other videos with you. And if you've got a really great video that you like and you'd like in the list, send me an email, dave@civiccentertv.com, and we'll do our very best to include you and your video in the list. So we are working on a story to give you a little look ahead that will be published before the end of the year in West Bloomfield Today. And that story is talking all about emergency preparation and emergency services here in West Bloomfield. We're working on the details, so I figured, well, why not just do it live here on the Splash? We're going to check in just a minute with Greg Flynn, our fire chief in West Bloomfield, talk a little bit about the kind of work he and his staff and our community puts in to being ready for a wide variety of emergencies. That's coming up next. Thank you very much for tuning in this morning and watching the Splash Live, and we'll be right back with Greg.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
What's happening around you? Hear about state events, businesses, and from the people behind them on the MegaCast, an hour-long TV, radio, and streaming show keeping you informed on the day-to-day news. Listen in on talks with volunteer groups, documentarians, and financial advisors, Monday to Friday with your host, Tyler Kieft. Catch the MegaCast weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 on Civic Center TV, 89.3 Lakes FM, and streaming on mymytv.com. And now, back to the Splash, live.
Well, good morning and welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm going all Fred Rogers with the sweatshirt, almost a sweater, but it is very cool around West Bloomfield this morning. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s over the next couple of days, so do as your mom would say, before you go out, make sure you put that sweater on. Put on a nice warm jacket. It is going to be a little cool in West Bloomfield today. Joining us now to talk about our fire department, Toys for Tots, and of course emergency preparation is your West Bloomfield Fire Chief, Greg Flynn. Good morning, Greg.
Dave, good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Splash Live this morning. I appreciate you doing that at the very last minute. And we have a great team here in West Bloomfield that has gotten us through and will continue to get us through challenges. It could be an ice storm. It could be COVID-19. Could be a wide variety of things. And you lead the team that takes care of these kind of things for emergency preparation. Greg, I assume this is something you're looking at all the time and always working on refining your game plan.
Dave, we refer to it often as community risk reduction, and that's really the transformation that's been taking place within fire departments across this country, and West Bloomfield's been out front with that. We want to be prepared. We want to practice. We want to have a plan for whatever may come our way, and I think you kind of had a front row seat with that when we look back to the very early days, because you were right there with us, getting information out to people, sifting through things as to what the facts are and what's actionable. And that's exactly what we're going to do, is follow that basic skeleton, if you will, on making sure our residents are prepared, that they have a plan, and that we keep them informed real time when some kind of impact is felt by the community.
Well, one of the things we have here, we've talked about, and we're going to continue to talk about and inform the community even more of, is that unlike other communities, we have these great communication tools. We have a radio station, an FM radio station, which it very unlikely would ever go down even in a bad emergency. We've got all kinds of backup plans. And then we have all of our other communication tools that will hopefully be there through most emergencies. Having that is really helpful, because as I look back at some of the really big regional emergencies that we've had over the past several years, one that comes to mind, our ice storm, well, two. Our ice storm, and then the big power outage that we had several years ago. That affects such a wide area that it may be difficult to get from the general Detroit area media information that is specific to us here in West Bloomfield. And we have the capability with our communication tools and your Emergency Operations Center to let the people in West Bloomfield know what things they need to know right here close to home.
It's that multi-prong approach that I think is helpful, and being to get that Nixle alert on your phone that cues you in to say, hey, there's something going on. Here's some pieces of it, but I'm going to tune into the Splash, or I'm going to go to Civic Center TV, or I'm going to go to the West Bloomfield Township website, or I'm going to hit a social media platform that the police department's on or the fire department's on, and that's that engagement that we're looking for. And I really do think that we're hitting the mark on that, Dave, and that's an important part. And that communication is impacting all demographics within our community, because people choose where and how they're going to get that information, and that's what's great about having multiple platforms.
Well, and you mentioned Nixle and the ability to get emergency messages from the police and fire department and other officials via text message on your phone or your other devices is absolutely amazing. A lot of people are signing up for that. And Greg, I imagine, Chief Flynn, that's something that the community really enjoys. And you like, too, because it's a good way to get information out to people quickly and directly.
But one of those things that's very frustrating, Dave, is when you drive that same route every single day and you're on your way home to get to your son or daughter's sports practice, or you have an important appointment, and for whatever reason, traffic is backed up on Orchard Lake Road. It is convenient when there are serious incidents that are happening in the community. You get that alert that says, hey, Orchard Lake and Maple is closed because of a serious accident or something. Now you can reroute ahead of time, and it saves you time, and it puts the first responders and those are focused on those that need our care right then and there, and the traffic and stuff is diverted around us. And that's really the approach we try to take. That's our job in emergency management, is we'll take care of the incident itself, but we're also thinking about some of the challenges we're creating while we mitigate that situation to the rest of the community that really does have other important things to continue on with, and then we need to be respectful of that when and where we can.
Well, and you've got multiple tasks to take care of, Greg Flynn, West Bloomfield Fire Chief. You have certainly to address the emergency itself, make sure the first responders are there, that we're protecting the community and solving the problem. But there's also a communication element and a planning element to a lot of these things. And as it gets more complicated, as we have a more complicated event, and we certainly don't wish for one to happen, but we do need to be prepared. It may be because of the the event itself. It may be that getting all of those things done all at the same time becomes a little bit more difficult. Communication systems could go down. It could be difficult for your people to get into the stations and prepare. It could be difficult to get your resources out to the community. And these are the kind of things that I know you're working on and preparing for. But there can be a complicated day ahead of us, and these are the things that you take a look at, and you have an emergency operation plan and a center that you could activate right there in Fire Station number 5, correct?
Correct. And I think the opportunity to have these discussions on your show, Dave, are very important as we start to normalize some of the conversations about the realities that we face every single day in our country. And folks like myself and Chief Patton plan for when those unfortunate events may arise within our community. So let's just take, for example, that we had some kind of incident at one of our schools, and we needed to get out where the reunification center was so that people can get to picking up their loved ones and so on and so forth. That real-time connection we have through your radio station, through those social media platforms, that's not effective to have 1,000 people calling into our emergency operations, dispatch center to get that information. We want to be able to push that out and use our communication partners to help.
Well, no question about it, and those are the things that we're working on and
And
trying
really
to.
get the information out.
Yeah, those are the things we're working on and trying to make it better. Joining us this morning is Chief Greg Flynn of the West Bloomfield Fire Department, talking a little bit about emergency preparation and some of the things that can happen here in West Bloomfield. And you're right, it's a more complicated time. It's not just that big weather event or some other disaster like a power outage that impacts our entire community and maybe our whole region. There could be an active shooter event or something else like that needs a proper response. And is it difficult as you're responding to these things to make sure that you're also communicating that out to the people? How do you plan for all that and get those priorities all taken care of?
That happens in what we refer to as the flop, if you will. So the flop is when the emergency hits. There's multiple positions that start to get filled within the management of the situation. And I think that a big part of that is the comms or the communications part of that. And that's not just the communications amongst the responders. That's the communication with the community that's being impacted. And so while it's sometimes difficult, everyone wants to go to the incident, we know that it's important to have people that are communicating what's going on. And Dave, honestly, that's where we get to really have a brief conversation with you. And because the responders, the team captains, if you will, you're able to help deliver that message, and your team's able to help deliver that message along with other, media streams and stuff like that. And that's how we do that. We put some people specifically focused on making sure that accurate information. Remember, I think maybe you taught me this. It's not that people can't handle difficult information. They just don't want misinformation. So I think they can handle the truths or the realities that are happening. We just can't afford to give them misinformation.
Well, and I want to congratulate you and all the township officials and Chief Patton. You've never once told me a story that wasn't the truth. It may have been news that was difficult to deliver, but that's never been an issue here, and that's good. And we do want to get information out. And we've seen in other communities that don't handle this quite as well. When things are problematic, they tend to go quiet, and that just isn't really helpful. So just one more thing on this. It's a really nice opportunity on the communication side to remind people that, yes, we have text. Yes, we have Civic Center TV. Yes, we have our other media here in the area. But, there could be a really bad ice storm. There could be some other tragic weather event. There could be some kind of a power interruption that may interrupt our communication tools. So, just start going through the list as something goes on. And don't forget 89.3 Civic Center TV's radio station, Lakes FM, because that is the ultimate tool. The transmitter sits over at fire station number 1. We've got backup power. We're building some new backup infrastructure there so we can get on the air. It may, Greg, I hope we never have to use it, but it may end up being our communication tool of last resort if we really get into a jam.
That's what a good plan has, though, Dave. We are ready for what is the most unlikely situation, but still probable. So we know that there's a possibility that it can happen, and we're going to be prepared for it. And we don't do that to scare people. We share that with them to bring calm and to bring reassurance that your professionals within the community are not just meeting but exceeding expectations when it comes to having a plan.
All right, Greg, let's shift gears. By the way, thank you for having this conversation. And Greg and I didn't prepare for this. This is just two guys talking in front of our community and sharing the information as publicly as possible. So thank you for engaging in that. Greg, let's talk a little bit about Toys for Tots, annual program here in West Bloomfield, and we are always involved, and the fire department always plays a big role. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I sure can. And I can't start talking about it without giving kudos to firefighter paramedic Chris Mars, who has really been the catalyst with this program and partnering with Toys for Tots and United States Marine Corps and what they do. But there are collection points for new unwrapped toys at Fire Station number 5, Fire Station number 1, and Town Hall. And again, Fire Station number 5, the one on Maple between Middle Belt and Orchard Lake, in the lobby there to drop off. Fire Station 1 in front of the high school, and then Town Hall over at the Civic Center complex all have collection points for new unwrapped toys through December 16th, Dave. That's a key point. December 16th is the cutoff, and that's because, remember, they got to collect all those toys. They've got to get them distributed and everything in a timely fashion.
Well, it's a great brand that we're all familiar with, and I drove down Maple Road the other day by station number 5 and saw the sign out in front. Good reminder. Thank you very much for putting that out there in your team, and everyone I think is familiar with the program. It's a credible program. It's a program that we've been very excited to be a part of here in West Bloomfield. Good to see the fire department and the entire township and community doing its part to make sure that these drop-off points are accessible and available for you. Greg, I got 15 more seconds. Anything else you want to share with the people of West Bloomfield this morning?
Well, thanks for having me on, Dave. I agree with your number 1 video in your top 5. I'm a big fan of that one as well. And always a pleasure speaking with you, and very much value our relationship and with the relationship of your whole team. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you very much. Greg Flynn, he is our fire chief here in West Bloomfield, doing a great job. And I've said it so many times, a little mutual admiration society here, but we are so lucky. I could tell you from working on this side of the business, we are so lucky to have just such terrific communicators here in our community. It just makes everything so much easier. Very open, very direct, and excellent communicators in Greg Flynn and Chief Patton and on and on. So thank you very much for tuning in this morning. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching The Splash Live. We'll be back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 9:30. Tyler Keefe coming up in just a couple of moments with the MegaCast here on Civic Center TV and all of our other outlets. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.